What is everybody? Daniel Rock 08 back in our video. This is a predictions video for WrestleMania 34. Whoa, it's WrestleMania. Fight to survive. I usually don't do predictions because, you know, but hey, it's WrestleMania. Why the fuck not? And there's like 17,000 matches, so let's just run down to them. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. We start off on the kickoff. The Mountain Dew kickoff, the fucking Snickers pre-show kickoff show, whatever the fuck they like to call it nowadays. Yeah, okay. Andre John Memorial Battle Royale, the one Battle Royale we're supposed to pretend to care about. WWE pretends to care about. No, it's just a way to get everyone onto the show, but it's on the pre-show, you know. I don't understand this logic. What's the point in doing these battle royales if they're on the pre-show? Well, we want to get everyone on the card. We want everyone to have WrestleMania match. But they're on the pre-show. You know, seriously. My prediction. Of the two battle royales, I feel like this one is going to have a winner who is not announced to be in the match so far. I'm going to say it's going to be a return. And we are going to have the return of Big Cass. And I see Big Cass winning this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. It's perfectly fit for Big Cass. I don't see Vulcan Matt Hardy. I don't see Bray Wyatt being reintroduced just yet. I think they're gonna miss. I think he's gonna miss out WrestleMania here. Well, they're missing out WrestleMania anyways because it's a fucking kickoff. But Big Cass is gonna come back very soon. He is cleared to come back, and what a way to come back, win the Battle Royale, have this prestige victory right out of the gate once when you come back. Sounds logical to me. Sounds great. Moving on, the Women's Battle Royale. I like how we bitched and complained about the Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royale. It gets name changed, but instead it changed to the Sensational Sherry or Wendy Richter or Luna Vachon or China or whoever the fuck. They could have named it Stacy Keebler Memorial. They could have named it after the cat or Terry Reynolds. Anything better than that garbage shit. Instead, it's just generic women's battle royale, first time ever at WrestleMania. No, it's not. We remember Miss WrestleMania 25. And we get a generic ass kind of sexist kind of trophy. I like how Vince McMahon is. Oh, you guys are upset that the Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royale is happening? Okay, we'll change it to a generic Battle Royale. And also, we're going to have a very sexist trophy showcasing women's organs. Or where the fuck the trophy is. I don't even want to look at the thing. Yeah, that's exactly how Vince McMahon is. I mean, you think you win, but in the end, Vince McMahon honestly wins. Think about it. You think we win because we have AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, but Vince wins in the end because Roman Reigns closes the fucking show. Think with your head, God. Anyways, sorry. Becky Lynch. She's going to win this. She's the only woman of this entire women's division, honestly, who hasn't had her WrestleMania moment. She didn't get it at 32. Charlotte has hers. Sasha Banks has hers because she's had many cool entrances. Bayley has had hers. Naomi has had hers. And a lot of other girls has had theirs as well. So Becky Lynch, she hasn't had her WrestleMania moment, and this is it. Mustafa Ali, Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Purple Strap. A lot of people say, well, 205 Live is much better because Triple H is running the show. Yeah, well, if it's so much better, why isn't this on the main show? Well, because, we still, even though it's a 17,000-hour show, even though it's a 5-hour show, we still cannot figure out more than 10 matches on the card. You seriously cannot put 12 or 13 matches on this card of 5 hours? Are you serious? Come on. Some of these matches don't need to be 20,000 minutes long. Jeez. Cedric Alexander is going to win this. He's been groomed to win. He was supposed to win a while ago, but real life events have changed. Cedric Alexander has to win this. Then we start to show off. And personally, what a better way to show off. What a better way to open WrestleMania 34 with it being Rusev Day. The United States Championship, I think, is a strong contender, a good contender for the opening, especially if my prediction is right. If Rusev wins, we have Randy Orton, the United States Champion, Jinder Mahal, Bobby Roode, and Rusev. And I bounce back and forth between Randy Orton and Rusev. And it honestly just depends on the placement of this card. However, I believe Rusev will win the United States Championship. What a great way it would be to open WrestleMania with Rusev Day, right? Rusev to become the 3-time United States Champion. Throwing it to the Raw Tag Team titles already, yes. Because that's just the way I think the card will get structured out. Braun Strowman and a mystery opponent taking on the Bar. Honestly, in my personal opinion, this WrestleMania should be, the main event of this WrestleMania should be Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns in a Hell in a Cell match or something like that for the Universal title. But, whatever. The tag team partner, I'm going to predict The Big Show. I just think it's the logical choice. It could be Rey Mysterio, because I know how much Vince McMahon loves that Braun Strowman and Rey Mysterio. He likes big guys teaming with smaller guys. Braun Strowman and his mystery partner, Big Show, is going to win the tag team titles. I mean, come on. Sheamus is injured. They can win the tag team titles back anyways. Tossing it, yes, already. We're going to talk about the SmackDown Women's title match. And the reason why I think this is going to be much earlier on. Charlotte versus Asuka. This is going to be a big-time match. We need a big-time match in the early time of WrestleMania, and I think this is going to be it. Asuka. Asuka is going to win. Is Carmella going to cash in? Well, more on that later. I think she will, but more on that later. Asuka is going to win this for many reasons. She's undefeated. I think they have many plans for her. I think they want to do Asuka versus Ronda Rousey for WrestleMania 35 if everything goes out perfectly according to plans. Gotta have her undefeated. And another thing why she needs to go over is simply this. She is the very first Women's Royal Rumble match winner. Okay? How bad would it be how bad would it be for the Women's Royal Rumble match if the first winner lost at WrestleMania? That just doesn't seem like, if they have a second one, why would you want to win it? Because the only one you have to go on is the first one, and the first winner lost. So I just think that's just logical. Why would you want, if you want to have this Women's Royal Rumble match winner, they have to win. They have to win the title at WrestleMania. It's logical. And it's Asuka, so there you go. Asuka wins. Next up, another shocker. You think, how the fuck do you think this is going to be fourth? Well, I just think it's going to be fourth. We need big matches early on in WrestleMania. And I think this is going to be one of the biggest matches earlier on, closing out the first hour and a half of this show. Daniel Bryan, Shane O'Mac, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. Yes, I think it's going to be this early on the show, honestly. Hell, some might speculate it could open the show, but I picked it fourth. Daniel Bryan, Shane O'Mac is going to win. I think, honestly, this match is more about Shane O'Mac than it is about Daniel Bryan's return. I am not that too pumped about Daniel Bryan's return. If this was Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, like it should be, then I would be the biggest fan. I would say main event that shit. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, that should be the Universal title. That should be the WWE title. That should be a big grudge match. But it isn't. It's Daniel Bryan, Shane O'Mac. And why is it that? Well, because Shane O'Mac needs a fucking WrestleMania victory. That's why. He needs a payday. The demon seed of Vince McMahon needs a WrestleMania payday. And a WrestleMania victory he will get as well. Shane O'Mac, Daniel Bryan wins. And I know it's kind of obvious that Shane might turn on Daniel Bryan, but hey, I don't think he's going to turn on him. Not during the match at all, at least. Shane O'Mac, Daniel Bryan for the victory. And I think Cammy will go over to Raw, and maybe they'll switch them out with Seth Rollins or something like that. The fifth match, I go to this. I go to the Intercontinental title match. The Intercontinental Championship match. This could be honestly a sleeper hit. This could be a match. This could be the hit. I hate this word so bad. It could be a hidden gem. This could be, honestly, it could be a very strong number 2 top match if AJ Shinsuke delivers as much as people think it's going to deliver. This could be a very great type match. You got The Miz, you got Seth Rollins, you got Finn Balor, 3 phenomenal talents here. Someone has to retain. There's a case on this card where I see all the champions losing their belts. I just don't think every championship is going to exchange. So I think in this case, The Miz will retain. It's just too obvious, honestly. You got Seth Rollins, you got Finn Balor. It's all about them, and you got The Miz just on the background doing his own thing, being a daddy, being a good husband, so on and so forth. And he's just been in the background, and people think he's going to leave again. He's just been in the background. How many times has The Miz been in the background of a big title match or a big match and came to end up winning the match? Look at WrestleMania 27. Look at how he won the title, so on and so forth. So many times he's been in the backdrop and he sneaks his way in. I can easily see Seth Rollins hitting a curb stomp on Finn. The Miz gets soul crushing finale from behind and steals the victory. I can easily see that. Miz retains, done and done. Maybe the Miz will lose it on Raw and then leave. Sixth, I go to the SmackDown Tag Team titles. New Day, Usos, Bludgeon Brothers. I don't care for them too much. So it took 8 years. It took 8 fucking years for the Usos to finally get their WrestleMania match. And by golly, they're going to get, unless something horrible happens. And I'm fearful. I'm fearful on this show for the Usos, because you never know. Just because it's advertised, that don't mean it necessarily going to happen. And it could possibly get cut. And if any match is going to get cut, this would be the match that's going to get cut. And I swear to fucking God, if I see a certain wrestler turned celebrity in The Rock at WrestleMania, it's just going to take way too long. It's going to take so much time, and a match is going to get cut. And this could be it. It could happen. And I just know it might. If that happens. Usos, New Day, Bludgeon Brothers. Honestly, I think they missed an opportunity to make this a ladder match. Because the New Day and the Usos have had this rivalry of 2017 like crazy. They had a Hell in a Cell match that is to die for. Watch it. They had the best pre-show match ever. How the hell did they get to be on the pre-show over Big Cass and the Big Show? It's insanity. But I ultimately think that the Usos are going to finally win. And they're going to get their WrestleMania moment. And how much sweeter would it be for them to retain? Bludgeon Brothers, they're just extra political activity in this match, honestly. And honestly, I don't even think they should be in this match. But they missed an opportunity to make this a TLC match, honestly. They really did. This should be a ladder match or something like that. Usos to retain. Somebody has to retain. And I think the Usos are perfect to retain. Moving up to the mixed tag team match. Yes, the mixed tag match is going 7th, not last. A lot of people think this is going to be the main event. Well, let me tell you this. If this is the main event, I'm not watching it. Because I do not want to see Stephanie and Ronda Rousey be the first women to main event WrestleMania. And if Stephanie is the first woman to main event WrestleMania, then this entire women's revolution that you have propaganda that you have shoved down people's throats is just fucking it's too much. It's too much. Stephanie is the worst character in the history of wrestling. She is. I would take any stupid character over her. And she's bad. And not a good way. Not in a good way whatsoever. She doesn't get heat whatsoever on anybody in a good way, in my opinion. But I think Ronda Rousey will finally do something. And I think finally Stephanie, after so many fucking years of slapping the careers out of so many people right in the face, Ronda Rousey is going to make that bitch fucking tap. She's going to make the hottest mom in the world tap out. The worst character in wrestling tap out. Now, you're thinking, what about Triple H? What about Kurt Angle? Who cares? Who cares? Honestly, I don't think WWE really fucking cares. Think of it this way. Triple H has been in the backdrop. Kurt Angle has been in the backdrop. It's not really about them. It's about Stephanie and Ronda. Triple H is just there to collect a paycheck. Honestly, for Triple H, this is like John Cena, this is like John Cena last year, where John Cena could have had a major match, but he has decided to let his girlfriend get a big time WrestleMania moment. And honestly, Triple H is doing the same thing here. Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle is going to win this. It's not even a non-factor. Eighth match I have is the WWE Championship. I honestly want this the main event because I think that's the right way to do it. I know a lot of people think, well, this is the most exciting match. This is the match everyone's excited for. Why should that go on last? Shouldn't it be towards the middle? No. That's stupid. That's bullshit. I don't believe in this idea that, oh, well, the most exciting match should be in the middle of the show because, well, people will be drained out. People are gonna suffer through 4.5 hours, and by the time this match finally happens in the main event, they're gonna be exhausted. They're not gonna be up for it. How the hell do you figure that? How is that even a deal? That's insanity. That's insane. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura has as much fan as much people are invested in this match, so much so they are willing to sit through so many minutes and so many hours to finally get through it, and they want it to main event, and I think it should. It's not ultimately going to. Because, like I said, with the Women's Battle Royale, just because you think Vince McMahon tosses you a bone, that doesn't mean that that doesn't necessarily mean you win. They just tossed you a bone. You're getting Shinsuke versus AJ Styles. Vince still gets what he wants, and that's in Roman Reigns. Anyways, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, WWE Championship match. I'm going to be honest with you here. I thought Shinsuke was guaranteed to win this match. Guaranteed. But the more and more I believe it, the more and more I think about it, the more and more I believe. AJ Styles is going to retain. Here's why. He's the champ who runs the camp. He's the face that runs this place. There is absolutely no reason to drop the title from AJ Styles. There's no reason. He hasn't been champion long enough, honestly, to really have a memorable title reign. He just honestly just got his groove in there with the title. He had a hell of a match with the six-pack challenge. He's been the man of SmackDown. He's been really the only good thing on SmackDown. Another thing is Shinsuke. As much as I adore Shinsuke, he hasn't exactly been lighting the world on fire. He isn't the exact main event superstar I think Vince McMahon sees in him. I'm just looking at this from a Vince McMahon perspective. Sorry, but I just don't see them putting the strap on Shinsuke Nakamura. And another reason why is WWE likes to have that one guy where they just dick around with him so much. You know, like Ryback, Wade Barrett, they push him and they put Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, so many guys. There are so many guys where they push him and they push him, but in the end they get cold feet. They get cold feet and then they back off and then they don't push him and then they keep doing it, but they never go all the way with it. They never go. They never get a home run. They always go to second base. They always get to second base, but they don't go all the way. Shinsuke is the man that they're going to dick around with quite a while. Shinsuke is not winning this title, folks. And I would be surprised, honestly, if Shinsuke wins. He hasn't exactly been lighting the world on fire. I would love to see him win. I just don't see Vince McMahon putting the strap on him. AJ Styles is going to retain, and this is going to be one hell of a match. This is going to be Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle. This is going to be Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage. Hopefully, if it gets time. The Dead Spot match, the 9th match on this show. The Raw Women's Championship. It's the second to last match. It's the Dead Spot. Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss. I smell a squash match coming. Something has to be a squash match. But I don't think it's going to be the squash match that you think it's going to be. I think this is going to happen. This could be very interesting. There's a lot of interesting components. So here's the way I can see. Here's a scenario I kind of played out in my mind. Is there any rule to say that Carmella is only exclusive to SmackDown Women's title to cash in on? Is that an actual thing? Do we know that she's only exclusive to SmackDown? Because she hasn't even tried to cash in on Raw. She hasn't had the opportunity to do so. And I think when you really look at it, this is probably it. Like I said with Asuka, I don't think they would want the first woman Money in the Bank briefcase holder to lose the title match, because that just makes that women's Money in the Bank look really bad, honestly. So here's a scenario I think could play out, and I'm just thinking like Vince McMahon would. I know it's WrestleMania, and this might be batshit crazy, but Vince McMahon is batshit crazy. I see a scenario. This is not my prediction, but I can see a scenario where Nia Jax beats the shit out of Alexa Bliss, gets her in a big ass submission hold, wins the title when she taps out, but doesn't win because the referee is going to reverse the decision. That's right. Alexa Bliss is going to win via disqualification. I can see it happening. Hey, I heard on a Chris Jericho podcast back at WrestleMania 28, Vince McMahon had this idea where Chris Jericho would anger CM Punk so hard, would make him angry, so pissed off that CM Punk basically gets himself disqualified inside 4 minutes. I could see it. This is Vince McMahon. And I could see Carmella cashing in on Alexa and swooping in and getting it. However, while that is a scenario that I just thought up of, kind of a crazy one, and it is an intriguing one, I don't think they're going to go that way. Ultimately, Nia Jax is going to win this. She is the one who's going to win. I just thought that because I also think that, hey, there's only The Miz is winning this, in my opinion. Only The Miz. He's the only bad guy winning, so. I mean, I guess Braun Strowman, but he's babyface, so. There you go. Anyways, Nia Jax, I smell a squash match. 1 minute. This is going to be China versus Ivory, in my opinion. That's what it should be. Nia Jax squashes her in like 60 seconds. She plays around with her. Like, Alexa Bliss might get her distracted, hit her in the back with a belt, and that's the only offense she gets. Once when Nia Jax gets her, she's going to beat the shit out of her. Military presses, body slams, power slams. She's going to fool around with her a little bit. But in the end, Nia Jax wins in under 2 minutes. And in the main event, we get the main event. Maybe the people don't really want to see, but too bad. Fuck you. Roman Reigns' main event 4 years in a row. Might as well make it 10 years in a row. Fuck it. He's the man that's going to lead us into the 20th, into the 20. He's going to be the man who's going to lead us into the 2020s. It's Roman Reigns. It's Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, and there's no way in balls that Brock Lesnar is going to win this. Roman Reigns is winning 100,000% clean, but I'm worried to death with this match. Not because of the crowd, because I know the crowd is not going to be too happy with Roman Reigns. I am worried because this is Brock Lesnar. And this could be Brock Lesnar's last match. And he is rumored to go to UFC, and he most likely will go to UFC. I can see Brock Lesnar not giving a fucking shit about this match. To where you have a la WrestleMania 20. Where Lesnar and Reigns, they just stare at each other, they pose. Lesnar's not into it. Roman's going to be into it, and he's going to try to get Lesnar into it, but ultimately he's just going to get, like, fuck it. And I could see a scenario where Reigns beats Lesnar inside 5 minutes. But it's going to be 5 very boring minutes. This could be Lesnar Goldberg. This could be Lesnar Dean Ambrose from 32. Lesnar, it's very weird. Sometimes he wants to work. Sometimes he doesn't want to work. With Randy Orton, with Dean Ambrose, he didn't want to work. With Goldberg, he wanted to work. It just depends. This match could be great. It could stink up the joint. It really could. It just depends on what Brock Lesnar is going to feel. If he feels like he wants to have a decent match and try to go out there and put Roman Reigns over and make him look like $1 million again, hey, yo, you know what? He can do it. And this match is going to be fucking awesome. But if he goes out there like he had with Goldberg at 20, or with Dean Ambrose at 32, or with anybody else quite matter, or with some of his matches with Seth Rollins, I think was kind of a little half-assy. This could be a dumpster fire, and everything that they've been trying to do with Roman Reigns will fail miserably again. And I fear for this match. I honestly love Roman Reigns to death. He is my favorite superstar. I know, shocking, isn't it? Roman Reigns is my number one. Sorry. Roman Reigns is the man. He's the guy. He's the big dog. And he's going to get his WrestleMania moment again. And this time, Brock Lesnar, you big, bulky son of a bitch, you better do business. You better fucking do business. You can get your ass to UFC. Put Roman Reigns over and go back to the UFC. Because I don't give a shit about Brock Lesnar. He is not the $6 million man that Vince McMahon thinks he is. He doesn't put butts in the seats. I know, and you know he isn't that. Look at Raw. Look at half-empty arenas when he was there in November or whenever, or in October, mind you. How many times has he's been Universal Champion for 370 days? For God's sakes, he's defended like 6 times. But the Raws that he's been at in the fall were half empty. He's the champion. And he's supposed to be this hot commodity. I say bullshit. Brock Lesnar isn't the commodity. He isn't the $6 million man that his paycheck says he is. He isn't. He's worth jack shit, honestly. Roman Reigns is the guy, and this is going to be his moment. Finally, the coronation is going to be complete. And we all going to have to relevant in it as it happens. And I cannot wait for Brock Lesnar to lose the Universal title. And I can't wait for Roman Reigns to win the Universal title because it's been too long since he has been champion. Think of this way. A lot of people like to bitch and moan about Roman Reigns being shoved down our throats. But think of this for one second. And stop being a Roman Reigns hater like that fucker JD from New York. And think about this. Roman Reigns hasn't been champion since June of 2016. He hasn't been champion in a year, in almost 2 fucking years. He has worked his ass off harder than a lot of people have. He had rivalry of the year with Braun Strowman. He deserves this moment almost more than any other guy in that locker room. You think a guy like Finn Balor or anybody else could match up as being the guy that Roman Reigns truly is? Think it this way. Every time Roman Reigns comes out, he gets the biggest ovations. He gets the loudest reactions. He is the most controversial guy. And when he goes out there and he has a match, he has the most important match. He has the most talked about match. Everyone talks about his matches because he is the guy. And this is going to be his moment. And Brock Lesnar can get the fuck out of WWE. He can go back to that pansy ass second rate UFC bullshit who tries ever so hard to be like the WWE. Look at Conor McGregor. Come on, you can't tell me that isn't fake. You can't tell me what Conor McGregor did wasn't stage. Bullshit. He can go to UFC. Isn't he still suspended? He didn't even have a fucking fight anyways. Who cares? He can get the fuck out of here, and Roman Reigns can be the champion. And it can be him, and Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman, whatever. At least the Universal Championship will be seen on Monday Night Raw like it should be every fucking week. And then we have John Cena. What is going to happen? Well, here's my prediction. I think, this is my prediction, but before I move on, here's a scenario I've played out in my mind. This is going on way too fucking long, but this is a nice scenario. I can see the scenario where John Cena calls out The Undertaker one last time. Undertaker comes out, American Badass. They have a confrontation. No match. And they have a match at WrestleMania 35. I can honestly see that. That is batshit insane. But how crazy is it that John Cena isn't really advertised to have a match with The Undertaker? It's rumored to happen, but it may not happen. I think ultimately this will happen. Undertaker will show up as the American Badass, and we're going to have a match. It's going to be an unsanctioned match. It's not going to last very long. It's going to be like 10 minutes long. Who's going to win? The Undertaker. There is no way in hell John Cena should win this match. The Undertaker has to win this. And I think John Cena would put his ass over. This, honestly, is technically would be his last match, but I think in the way WWE would present it, they would present the way that WrestleMania 33 with Roman is his last match. And this is honestly just American Badass. This is the good moment that we're going to have with The Undertaker. So, Undertaker closes the show, and he is going to close WrestleMania like the way he did last year. Only this time, we're actually going to be hyped. American Badass. I am an American Badass. Anyways, I'm Daniel Rock 08. I know it's been 35,000 minutes long, but that's just what I believe could happen at WrestleMania. I could be totally wrong. Hell, I don't know. Maybe Shinsuke will win the WWE title. I just don't know. Maybe Triple H will win. It's Triple fucking H, Maybe Brock Lesnar will win. You don't know. Vince McMahon is a cuck. Vince McMahon is a cuck boy for Brock Lesnar. He really fucking is. If Vince McMahon would, I bet you, if Vince McMahon had the money, he would cuck so hard for $10 million to give to Brock Lesnar just so he can waste more time. Whatever. I'm Dan Rock 08. Rusev wins United States title. Asuka wins. Nia Jax squash. Usos retain. Miz retains. Roman Reigns Universal Champ. AJ Styles retains. Seriously. So on and so forth. Braun Strowman wins tag titles. I'm Dana Rock 08. Did I say Asuka's going to win? I'm Dana Rock 08, and I'll see you for a WrestleMania 34 review. Goodbye. Good Lord. 33 minutes. What the fuck? Bye.